All right, so we just finished up round one here at the I-95 tournament at Game Vault in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Luke, who'd you play and what mission was it and all that good stuff?
Played Tim Grimmett, played Frontline Domination, and we played on the mountain board. The board is probably about 12 inches in elevation. We'll get some video of that later.
It was cool
so you can see some of the board. Yeah, it was a big slugfest, Frontline Domination. You guys can download that from wwpd.net. Ended up being a 4-3 victory for me. It was just a giant slugfest. I'm running Confident Trained rifles, mid-war, American rifles, and I have 2 units of rifles. I have a unit of parachute rifles, which is actually they're the stars of the show today. I've got a full weapons platoon, Stewart's AT guns, 57mm AT guns with no HE, and 105s, and a recon platoon. So it started off a slugfest. I had 4 platoons intermingled with each other, and Tim decided to assault, and I beat the living hell out of those guys, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I did not think I would do as well as I did, but honestly, a lot of that, I got some really good luck on my assault. I rolled 9 hits on him, and I think I hit 7. So
it looked bloody.
His Fallschirmjägers evaporated there, and then he tried another assault, and I got some good luck there. And then he did actually pluck apart a couple of my platoons with some recoilless rifles. Tim did pull a great maneuver today and actually almost killed my Stewarts by, I didn't realize his mortars had a Panzerknacker in them. And he moved his leader out and assaulted me with his Panzerknacker, and almost I made me force a motivation test, but I still pulled through on that.
Nice.
So it ended up being a 4-3.
All right.
I ended up having 7 domination points, so it was overall a good game. I do get the award for dumbest move of the day. I miscounted on my infantry stands and took a morale test that I did not need to do, and removed a platoon from the table that I did not need to remove.
There you go.
So
All right.
It was a good time.
Well, congrats on your win, and we'll see you round 2.
All right, we're still on round 1, and we have Joe Moore and Steve McLaughlin.
That's right, we faced off a fairly historical battle. I'm running Italian Bercieri. You're running
British Light Tank Company.
right. Lots of Crusaders.
Lots
got
of
the
Crusaders.
Crusader 2 platoon leaders with Crusader 3s and
As their
tons of them.
Yep.
Grants.
16.
Yeah. It was a pretty good battle. I had Simaventes lined up along a ridge line, and I rolled Fearless Veteran for them, so I really lucked out there. And I had wide open view, and they basically chewed up his Crusaders.
And I kept hitting myself in the hand with a hammer.
Yeah.
Going right at him.
It was rough, and he had some pretty poor rolling. I had some good rolling. I got some Falcos in at one point. I needed 6s to hit him, and I hit 2 guys out of 3 dice. And,
You pulled
blew
the
up one of
infamous
the
Luke
tanks.
maneuver. Very good,
Yeah,
very
it was
good.
pretty awesome. The
Luck counts
Falcos
when
did
it's
it.
luck. That's right. Luck is not luck when it counts. It's good.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the big Bersalier units were able to get around the board and kind of cover some objectives and absorb hits. So it's pretty
So
good.
you didn't even get a. How many units did you have on the table to start, Joe?
I had 1 platoon of infantry.
One platoon.
Everything
Oh
else
my
rolls
God.
on.
Everything else of his rolled on, which was nice that I got the bottom of the turn too.
That I thought
Yeah.
about too. Is it gives a lot
Right.
of the intelligence away as to where I'm coming.
Yep.
So,
So
we're
my
gonna move second.
Simaventes were able to totally react and get in a really good spot.
Now the board, honestly, I would have put the Simaventes over there anyway, just because of the way the board shaped.
Yep.
So I don't think it would have been that drastic of a
No,
maneuver for them.
not
They
really.
probably would have been there anyway.
Yep.
But
So it was a good historical battle. I think had his Crusaders swarmed me, he could have
Hold on,
gotten
these.
it.
There we go.
maybe I should have taken the other side of the table and given you my side.
Maybe so. Yeah, maybe
I
so.
wasn't thinking about it that way.
Anyways, it was a good game.
was.
Always a pleasure to play with Joe.
It was always.
We'll see you guys
always.
in round 2.
Excellent.
All right, we're going to make this quick because matchups are already being placed, but this is Dirty John after round 1. John, tell us about what went down.
I played U.S. Rifles, Confident Train with some character, and Shermans and Stewarts.
And you're running...
I'm running the
Panzergrens? Yep.
but fake Panzer Grenadiers where they're really infantry.
Gotcha.
Had 3 platoons of Grens, infantry guns, Nebs, 4 Panzer 3Ms, and then the Gepanzerte
Yep.
Grenadiers actually have the half tracks. I've never run them before.
Yep. How'd they do for you?
They're all right. They just kind of sat there.
Yeah.
We had a tie. We both had the same kind of domination points. It was just we only got through like 4 turns.
Oh, really?
5 turns, so it was
Yeah, it
a
seemed a
little
little
slow.
slow.
My planes didn't do a whole lot. I got 1 plane every time I rolled in with them. I had one thing where he had 8 shots at a 5-up to stop me from basically destroying a Sherman platoon. Made it. And then I had another one where I had to make some other roll for something and failed it, and it was just horrible.
So what was the end result?
3-3.
3-3?
Draw. Yeah, it was,
All right, well, we'll see you after round 2, my man.
Yep.
Enjoy that pizza.
I am.
All right, so we are here with round 2. Luke, how'd you do in round 2?
6-1. I played Bob Evans. We played No Retreat, and I can honestly say the first time ever I was the defender in No Retreat. And actually, I think this may be the first time I was the official defender in a defensive mission in any tournament.
I was thinking that in my tournament or my round too.
I have never been the defender, like having to hold an objective in a mission. So that was new for me. He had a Panzer company, bunch of Panzer IIIs, and some Panzer II Recon, and some Pioneers, and some Naval Warfers. And I just basically I pulled a Steve-O, funneled him, dropped my ambush of my 57s, wiped a Panzer platoon out, direct fired with my guns that were strategically set up, my artillery, wiped out his two of his tanks from his recon, dropped an artillery bombardment, and got incredibly lucky, and you guys will appreciate this. I hit 4 tanks, including the company commander, with an artillery bombardment, time on target, and blew up every single tank.
Nice.
And at that point, his company commander was dead.
That's insane.
And he was over half. My stewards came in reserve, moved in the back, machine gunned his Pioneers. I think, actually, I'm pretty sure the only tank he had left on the table was his company commander and the Naval Warfare. I mean, sorry, his 2IC and the Naval Warfare. So
all right.
That was it. 6-1.
Congrats,
It was
man.
pretty easy.
So let me ask you this: did Steve-O lead you astray with that army list?
Well, I pretty much put the list. Actually, I'm really glad that I didn't go with your engineer option.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing for that list to make it work. Wow, awesome. The biggest thing for that. Yeah, we're here at the Game Vault, everybody. So, yeah, the thing for that list, I think, is the weapons platoon. Good call, and I'm glad I went with the upgraded weapons platoon. So I took your advice there. I did not take your advice on the engineers and went with the parachute.
Well, paras are fair enough. I don't have paras painted. That's a good option.
Paras are fantastic, and honestly, German players, you can have rate of fire 3, but if you can't lift on the ground, I felt like it was a good payback on a German shooting at the.
All right. Well,
shooting those
congrats,
guys.
man. We'll see you in round 3.
All right. So we're here with Steve for round 2, and Mr. Cool, as you can see from his sunglasses, just played.
I just played Bob Everson. I was defending and no retreat, which, as Luke said earlier, is really rare for me. I almost never defend, so it's knowing how to attack means you know how to set up a good defense. So I started with both my Bercieri units, dug in, and kind of a little bit intermingled over one objective, and then holding one in some really difficult terrain. I had just the other one holding that. So no matter where he came, it would have been difficult for him. And I started with my M14s in ambush, and I probably didn't ambush them until turn 5, after he had kind of broke on my lines a little bit. I mean, at one point I caught some of his, he was running Gurkhas, at one point I caught some of them in the open, and I rolled 31 dice to hit them. And I
Did you pin? Did you actually pin?
Dude, I wiped the platoon off the face of the planet in one round of shooting. And my M14s ambushed, they roll forward, and he had trained artillery. So they got pretty lucky and wiped a battery of artillery. I meant to smoke them, and I failed to range in. I was like, oh, God, now my M14s are caught in the open with 25 pounders, so I might as well shoot at him, and then I ran the battery. So, I mean, eventually his stuff just kind of crashed on me. His Churchills were untouchable.
So you're making Mussolini proud?
Making Mussolini proud. Avanti Savoia.
All right, we are here at the Burger King after the tournament. The results are the winner was Sean. I forget his last name. Remember his last name? Cool guy. I talked to him a little bit. Sean something or other, not our Sean. I got second, and third place was Bill Garay, of course. He and I, I went at it for round 3. Anyways, John, tell me about your round 3.
Round 3, Dash. He was playing competent, trained U.S. armored rifles. 2 platoons of armored rifles, armored mortars, Shermans, Stuarts, and recon unit. We played like 7-8 turns. I got planes like you wouldn't believe. I ended up killing 2 of his platoons.
And the mission was dust up, by the way.
Yeah, it was dust up. Killed 2 of his platoons. He killed 1 of mine. I had a few challenges with reserves. I still, at the end of the game, played like 8 turns. I still had 1 platoon off. He attacked, assaulted. I had my company commander knock me below half, failed with the reroll, platoon out, left objective open with him on top of it. My turn goes. I couldn't get anybody over there fast enough, but on his objective, I shot, assaulted, killed his guys on the objective. So we both had cleared the objectives, but he went ahead of me. And I had reserves coming on in trucks, and I missed it by a half an inch in challenging the objective.
Nice.
So if it either would have made my company price, I think I would have won. That's Eric Turner.
That's Turner.
everybody.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Should have heard him talking earlier at McDonald's.
Yeah,
Now that we're in Burger King.
Yeah, now we're yelling and yapping.
All right.
So anyway, yeah, it was real close. It was a good game. You know, brain lock on some rules I had.
Yeah.
Completely fine. I have brain lock every time.
True that. All right, man.
That's one rule. I got to learn how to deploy this Grenadier unit.
There you go. All right. We will talk to Luke after you. All right. So we are after round 3. Rocking and rolling at the Burger King, the BK Lounge.
Rolling it.
Luke, tell us about round 3.
Played Chuck Carey, and it was a 3-2 draw. I won. I mean, I had 3 points, and he had 1 platoon left, and he would not fail a company morale check. That's it.
Nice. All right.
That's it.
Nothing more exciting?
Nope, nothing
All
else.
right. Well, adios then. All right, guys. This is our boy Eric Turner. He's has a reputation for being somewhat loquacious, so we're keeping him to a minute and a half. You've got 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock, and go.
It was a good tournament. I played my buddy John here in the second
He
game.
beat me. He crushed me.
John got his ass
beat by Derek Turner. Yeah. Yeah, but I wasn't just talking smack about him like you were. Derek Turner.
So the first game was a draw in domination because tanks, a whole Panzer company can move on the last turn and contest every one. So
True.
it's really hard to keep a point when a guy can just zip one little tank up there and stop you from scoring points. Second one was a victory against John. It wasn't as bad as he made it sound. He fought well.
It was a bad butt whipping.
He broke 2 of my platoons. I didn't break any of his, no matter how bad I shot it up. The last one was 6-1. I fought all the way around it. 1 Tiger on a pool table. The man was making 40-inch shots on every turn.
Jeez.
Couldn't range in airplanes or get them. They were the worst unit I had the whole tournament.
Nice.
The Gurkhas rock. I love them.
Nice. All right. Any? You got 10 seconds left. Any other
it.
closing thoughts?
That's what his wife says.
Eric Turner under time. Look at that. A+.
As you can see, we are with the king of
Secondary
the WWP.
king. Secondary
All
king.
right, so Steve, how'd you do last round? How did you play?
Well, I played Bill, of course. We figured out that's our 6th game in a row in tournaments. And he was running Gurkhas, like a lot of Gurkhas there today. A whole lot of Gurkhas, but it was dust up. Honestly, neither one of us could make anything happen. We just ground each other to dirt. Neither one of us even really came close. It was a 2-2 draw. Nothing going. So
Tell the Churchill story.
yeah, so he knew that I had nothing for his Churchills. I didn't have sticky bombs or anything with the Italians, Passalia bombs. And he came just barreling towards me with all 3 of them. And he sent his 2IC with the tanks too, knowing that he would have needed to keep a platoon leader going. So I was desperate. I sent my Simaventes around. I flanked them at the expense of being totally exposed to 8 25-pounders. And I fired all my shots, and I knocked out the platoon leader of the Churchills and the 2IC in the same swoop right before I lost my Simaventes, basically. So his 2 Churchills were literally sitting on my objective. Well, one was behind, anyways. They were right on my objective, and they couldn't move with no platoon leader. And there was no way he could have gotten his company command across the board, so they just sat there watching me. But I never came close to his objective, so I actually thought he was going to beat me on turn 3 if those Churchills could have just brought it home. So I completely lucked out. I snatched a draw from the jaws of defeat.
Sweet. So how'd you finish over the tournament?
2nd overall, and that's totally because 5 people drew, but I got 9 domination points in the first round, so that bumped me up to 2. Because you and I had the same score, me and Bill had the same score,
Good job. All right.